Every once in a while, a student walks through room 1511 who was quiet, but you could feel the wheels turning. Someone who seems to be living half in the present, half in the future. Today's guest was exactly that. In seventh grade, he was thoughtful, respectful, creative, the kind of kid who didn't speak unless he had something worth saying. And even back then, you could tell there was something different about the way he saw the world. Then years later, he graduated. Life moved forward. I lost track of him until one day I hear about this young man working in blockchain technology, AI, building products that didn't exist when he sat in my class. A former student of mine, not just in the game, but leading in it. Today, he is the founder of Self Labs, a company imagining what the next version of the digital world looks like. And he's doing it with a blend of confidence, humility, and purpose that feels far beyond his years. This is the kind of story Back to Class was built for, the quiet kid who grew into the man he was always meant to be. Milan, welcome to room 1511.
Thank you for having me.
No problem. All right, so let's take a snapshot. What's life like look like for Milan now?
Nowadays, CEO of a company that I've been building for about 10 years now. This December would actually make it 10 years, December 22nd. So it's been every day. Not
Tom's birthday.
Oh yeah, it's not the easiest journey. It's been a long journey, but it's getting easier now, right? I got a lot better at just running a company, public speaking, etc. And I got a lot of experience in that, right? But my first get-go was just understanding being an entrepreneur. So I had to go through that whole journey.
Yeah, we're gonna definitely get into that. That's cool.
Yeah.
So explain blockchain and self labs and what you do with AI and blockchain. I know a little bit about it. I've been, trying to beat my kids over the head with. You better start wrapping your head around AI because it's the future. It's not going anywhere. Blockchain also, but I'm just explain a little bit what it is and what you do to the novice out there that might be interested in it.
I'm technically an engineer, probably more going towards data scientist when it comes to like my experience, but I go anything from building from scratch all the way to using someone's tool. So for example, everyone knows ChatGPT.
Yeah.
So ChatGPT is about 4 language models. Just so you guys are aware, there's 2.2 million language models out there. So 2.2 million different AIs. Right now, most people know about 6 of them. So as you may know, things take a little bit, they drip feed people as the technologies come out. So my company is pretty much a lab. What we do is we kind of come up with concepts, test things, build things, and either come out with a consumer product, patent the idea, or just put it on the shelf, right? So a lot of things you see I built over the last 5 years, some of them have came to fruition, and some of them just got sat as patents for later on. So to answer your question fully about blockchain and AI, I'm little far ahead, right? So when I look at ChatGPT, for example, that was my thinking maybe 3 years ago. Um, that's more of generative AI and agentic AI. That's where we are right now.
What is injective AI mean?
Agentic is agent. So,
Oh,
so you have you, for example. Let's say
I'm ancient.
no, no. Well, you could be an agent. What I'm saying. So let's say we had our screw, and we made every teacher into an agent. Each agent has their own knowledge base, which is what your curriculum is and how you teach. And now this agent just does that every day. So it's task filled.
Mhm.
You tell it to do this task, it goes to the task for you. So that's where we're heading, and we are right now. That's going into robotics. So me, I'm sitting right in between robotics and agentic because robotics is just it's the hardware version of the software.
Yeah, sort of turn it into fruition
Yes.
if you
Yeah. So
and then start.
even the phone over there, which I could bring, but that was a concept that I'm still building where it's an AI phone, but it's also a phone service that can take away the bill because I can power AI
like that.
using a phone. Instead of using a big data center like everyone else is doing, building all this stuff and kind of ruining the environment, you take something like this, which everyone already has. We're already using allocate a certain amount of power for these devices. So to now turn back here and say, can this process that agentic action? So a task you may ask for is, hey, write or grade this test or write this test for my next course. Obviously, the AI can do that, but what powers that?
Yeah.
Is a data center if using
Yeah.
ChatGPT doing that. But In this case, it could be a phone that's
You want it to
paying.
be an individual one-on-one thing with me where I can
Not so much like if you're doing it, let's say you want the action and I'm the receiver that's gonna process it for you. I get rewarded or paid for that and you get your result. So it's
okay,
a win-win.
okay.
So instead of my phone
So
just being
somebody's
idle,
getting paid, just not the phone company.
not us is what I'm saying.
Okay,
Not the phone company does make money because they're the data centers. But I'm
okay.
saying as the individuals who are using this AI, why not also be the person that's making money too?
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah. So when you wake up in the morning, what does your mission look like?
Uh Definitely get to a point. I
Do you
mean,
have do you
right.
have a bunch of mini missions and a long-term mission that's always on the back burner or type
I
of
do
thing?
have a long-term mission, and that's just to make life easier using technology. That's my main mission. Every day is small steps to get to that path.
Okay. Well, you sort of answered my question. What world problem in the world are you trying to solve? You're just trying to make it. That's what technology is.
Yeah, I think it's the problem with that though is we're going into a world where the billionaires may take over in a way that we may not like. But, we all know AI is obviously going to replace jobs and everything else. My concern with that is what happens, right? Because
I think a lot of people are concerned about
they'll
that.
feel
But
displaced or misplaced, and I've had that question asked to me hundreds of thousands of times at this
well,
point.
my thing is
Yeah.
before Ford brought out the Model T,
Yeah.
some jerk bought 100 horses the night before and
Exactly.
was starting a delivery
Yeah, that's a
company.
good point. Yeah.
So
Very
Google, everything we thought was gonna drive people out of business. So it'll just be reimagined jobs, I think. And
Yeah,
and
I agree.
I think it'll be less, but you know, I think from what my little knowledge of AI is it can definitely level the playing field where a kid in a village in Africa has access to the same information that a kid sitting in a Silicon Valley lab has now, which
Yes,
I think is going to do amazing things for humanity.
absolutely. I agree.
Okay, so let's go back to school.
Mhm.
Okay, I remember you probably as a seventh grader better than you remember yourself. You were all over the place.
Still over there.
Great guy. Not a mean bone in your body.
No.
What do you remember about middle school and high school?
I honestly remember all of it because it was a lot of good memories that obviously you can't forget. So it's one of those things where like it made me to who I am today. So all of it. I mean, I remember you coming to me about a lot of different things, the gripes that you had about me, whether it was not getting in trouble because of basketball or just overall. Even after basketball season, that care is still carried
Yeah.
all the way to 12th grade. I always would see you in the hallway and know a certain look meant I was either in trouble or good, right? So I kept that the whole time. So I remember all the things, especially when I look at you and it just brings back all the memories. So
Well, who was in your senior class with you? What who were you hanging out
like
with?
kids,
Yeah.
uh, Tom Nacho, Osmond, Chris
Oh,
Martin, yeah,
that's a great group, great
yeah,
class, one of my favorites. So,
yeah.
you had a lot of fun in high school because that was a very spirited group. Yeah,
It was,
yeah.
yes.
And you guys had your good, clean fun, but you weren't mean spirited kids by any means at all.
No, we definitely did dumb shit, but yes, we, we were definitely good kids at the end of the day.
So, what do you say to a kid who doesn't know where he fits in, and the world seems to be going a million miles an hour?
I think it starts with belief in yourself, right? Like it starts with everyone's not going to agree with you. Even to this day, I've been proving, I mean, she'll tell you, I had to prove people all the time on what I'm thinking, my theories, and things being correct. And if I didn't have that strong will that I know I can get it done or I know I'm right, I can easily falter to the society. Society is very judgmental nowadays, especially with social media.
Sure,
So,
with business too. Like,
yeah.
how many chances are you going to give somebody if they don't deliver what they promise? Might get a second shot, and then
You might, especially with AI now, you're probably not getting that second
yeah,
shot.
because there's people ready to take your spot.
Yeah, so my advice would be is try to be extremely resourceful as you can be, right? AI is going to make things very easy to find the answer to your problems, but never forget to ask the question. I think that's where humans may falter.
Well, Google's paying prompters $100,000 a year now if you can ask the proper question.
Yes, AI engineers are making a lot of money too. Yeah,
Yeah,
I know. I know.
actually, I was looking into that before the podcast. I was thinking about what I could do in retirement, and I was sort of leaning towards hey, maybe I could sort of be the liaison between a company and, bringing AI on board, and I can sort of do that.
You
It
should do
wa
that for school.
well, I think school, they should be embracing AI and running with it and not hiding it from the kids because, we want the kids to be job ready and ready to participate in the world, and if we put our heads in the sand with AI, you know, my I have a project coming up now, the Colonial Idol, where we had to make songs. I don't know if you remember that. We had to make songs, protest songs about the British. So now the kids get to use AI. The songs are so much better than they used to be. He used to be like, "Tax, tax, taxity, don't you tax our tea?" Now it's like they're expanded, but I think they're learning more too. I think by doing that and you are gonna get the kids that cut corners and just go, "Give me the answer to this," and they won't even read the chat GBT, and, that's the bell curve. Those are the kids that are gonna be there anyway, and the kids that take that knowledge and then expand and go with it, they're the other part of the bell curve, so
Yeah.
it doesn't really change. It
No.
just,
But
uh
this wave of technology is definitely different. It's hard to give kids like even when I look at Aura, it's hard for me to even picture what her 13-year-old life would be. Because how I see it, there's driverless cars, there's no jobs, and now society is based off what? Meaning right now society is based off your position.
Mhm.
And that's what people kind of give their own worth to. But if that's gone, what is the new worth of humanity?
Yeah, that's true. Like, if because of technology, we're able to slim down our work week from 40, 50 hours to 25 hours, what are we doing in those other 2.5 days?
And soon they're gonna be zero.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
what are you doing?
It'll be on autopilot.
Yeah, and that's why I think is looking into yourself, as much as you can. What is your purpose? 'Cause I don't know if you believe in God, how religious you
Yeah,
are.
yeah,
What you think, what is God's intent for you being here? It's not to go get a job,
yeah.
right? So I think that original question is what needs to be questioned.
Hey, I did a reel the other day, like, that's why we all have our own fingerprint. None of us, put here by accident. We all have,
You
something to do here, and it's you can figure that out and sorta go with it. You've hit the, golden apple.
absolutely.
That's why I'm so glad I started teaching when I did. What was some of the things you struggled with as a kid or just had problems? Not problems, but just didn't come easy to you?
I didn't technically have problems. I guess it was more on if it was school based, I didn't like that no one can answer some questions. And it's not no one's fault,
Yeah,
right? But I think
that's the way it was. Yeah.
curriculums are just so based off like a format that there is no bend. So if I ask a question, for example, like how do we know about this in history? And you said, "Oh, well, we recorded it this way, but who recorded it?" And then now the questions start to die. The answers, I mean. So I'm like,
Well,
I have more questions.
that's my thing. When I was a kid growing up,
Yeah.
Columbus Day, everyone had a button,
Uh,
"Kiss Me, I'm Italian," and there was no even thought about it, the indigenous population. Wasn't even a thought. And I tell the kids now, I go, "Who tells the story of history, the winner or the loser?"
but
The winner.
yeah.
And Spanish story was out first, and eventually the indigenous story, those diaries and everything else started coming out, and now it's a totally different, ball game, but our
But how do you feel about that, knowing that? Because we never even got into a topic like that. Because obviously you're just teaching as students, but I mean teaching teachers. You're a teacher teaching as students, right? And when you're saying that history is written by the winners, doesn't that like make you question if this is true or not? So now when you're teaching us, isn't it a little bit of a
Well
conflict there?
well, we just did a Boston, massacre, right?
Yeah.
There's Paul Revere's picture,
Yeah.
and I go, "Kids, there's a British picture of this?" And the
Yeah.
British picture, the Americans aren't like this, they have, tomahawks in their hand, and they're dressed as savages. I go, "Where does the truth lie?" And
True. So the
it's in the
sandwich
middle.
was scared.
It's in the middle somewhere, and, that's why the camera is so beautiful, that's the ultimate truth teller is the picture, and much of history, there was no picture to take those pictures.
And that's the
No
concept of
camera.
hermetics, right? Where it's a half truth.
Yeah,
So you're saying there's one other half truth that you got to put together to get the full truth.
2 sides to everything.
Yeah.
And even if you look at something and you totally believe it. If you don't have the ability to see that other side, you can't.
You're not gonna get there.
You can't
Can't
get there. You
manifest it,
can't
yeah.
get there. Yeah. All right. So, what was the path that led you towards from school? Where did you go to college? College again? No college, right? It's
Nah,
beautiful.
not even a little bit.
Really. So,
Nah.
you what was your path to
I told you,
reach?
you asked me at 16. Remember, you're like, "What are you gonna do after high school?" And I was like, "Real estate." And you're like, "You really know the answer to that?" I was like, "Yeah." And I was dead serious, right?
Yeah.
18, or right into real estate. I was with my mom. I was like, "All right." I was watching her from 16 all the way to
Uh-huh.
18. Then when I got to 20 is when I got my license. I had my license from 20 over now.
Real estate's tough for a kid your
Oh, bro, it was cool.
my son is 21 out there. He wants to get his real estate license as well. And you got to take your lumps because your age group is not buying houses at that time.
Nope.
So, you know, you get all the knowledge you have now. And then when you're in your 30s in your wheelhouse now, your buddies know you do real estate now.
Yeah.
Now you get those calls.
And even now, what's funny is like now I don't want to do it. So the
Yeah.
whole time I was wishing that they could buy homes, but
Well, there's,
it was I don't honestly don't like residential real estate. I probably will like real estate nowadays because it's gonna be more commercial movement,
Mhm.
meaning like data centers that need to be purchased,
Yeah,
new
they're going to be
land
huge.
development.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that I liked, especially acquisition and mergers. So when I was first doing real estate, that was my thing.
Mhm.
Was let me try to get an acquisition and merger. At one time, I had $100 million deal. LIC is called the Crescent Club. That's a whole story, but we can get into that.
But
But
hey, maybe if
yeah.
it came through, you wouldn't be doing this.
No,
Know what I
it
mean?
came through. I just again, that's where rookie mistake came in. I was young. I signed a contract saying if only these buyers buy it, you get paid this commission. Another buyer that I talked to bought it, and I lost my commission.
Yeah.
So it's a rookie mistake.
All right.
But
So how do we pivot from real estate to
I always had the tech bone. So the tech bone was there from being younger.
you did, I remember
I
that.
went to a school in Fort Lee, which showed me how to build a computer from scratch. From there, I was 8 years old. So technology and me were like one, you know? So anytime a new device came out or a new computer, I just instantly understood it. So when you know Nick Mangano, right?
Yeah.
So Mangano came to my house one day and he talked about this token called Ethereum. And I wasn't so much into blockchain. I knew about it, I knew about Bitcoin and everything else, but he was kind of the first one to go,
How many
hey,
years ago was this?
just was 2017. So, yeah, he was the first one to tell me something about altcoins, right? Because that's what it
Yeah.
is. So when I looked into that altcoin, it was basically this gaming token that you got while you were gaming. So it was interesting to me, like, huh, blockchain can do different things. So obviously, from that moment, I just ran with it, and I learned more and more and more. So it's
Just a whole new world.
yeah. So giving it to Nick Mangano, if he didn't show me that, I probably wouldn't be so far in the blockchain. I bet you would have got there, but when he told me that time, I literally did run with it.
See, I was always reading Entrepreneur Inc. magazine,
Mhm.
and I was like on Ethereum, on blockchain when they first started out, but
Mhm.
I'm 53. What am I going to do with that stuff now?
So
Like, it's stupid. But yeah, but if I had done it 8 years ago, forget about it, right?
I know, especially with Bitcoin.
Well, live and learn, right? If you could talk to 12-year-old Milan,
Mhm.
what do you say to him?
What do I say to you more? Um,
Knowing what you know now.
you're not really wrong about things. You're early. So you're right, but you're not right now.
Okay.
And that is, I wish I heard it later in my life, but I wish someone told me that at
Well,
12.
we tend to do that with kids a lot. Like,
Yeah.
I remember when I was 5 years old, I was on a family trip
Uh-huh.
and it was raining out. And back then there were no seatbelts. I'm in the back seat looking out the back window. All of a sudden it hit me. Dad, Dad, I have an invention. He's like, what? I go, windshield wipers for the back window. He's like, they already have it, stupid. I was like, "Hmm." Like that when my life is in,
Yeah.
but that that's the thing. You can't listen to that voice. You have to plow through it. And, sometimes that voice becomes your soundtrack.
Mhm.
And if that happens, like I still fight that myself.
That's true. I
Uh,
know that.
Because when I grew up, it was, let's piss off Kenny so much he wants to prove us wrong. So you can't play basketball. You're slow. You're this, and
Until you
it was done out of love. He was more interested in raising a good man than having that father-son relationship.
Sure.
And his job was to raise good citizen, blah, blah, blah. And that was the way he felt to do it. But, you know, live and learn, as they say.
Yeah.